Okay, so just before starting this video, I have to give a disclaimer because I checked my YouTube analytics and it's kind of vast. Like, I have guys watching all the way from 18-year-olds to maybe even some in the 30 years old. And it's pretty evident. Like, I have beginners, intermediate level lifters, advanced level lifters, and then elite level lifters, watching my content from day to day, right? And yeah, just a disclaimer that this video is just for like guys who have been training for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 years um, consistently, right? And has absolutely no problem building muscle. Consistency isn't really a problem for them. They love going to the gym. They have a strict plan for the diet, like a training program, all of that stuff. So this video is going to be specifically for you guys if you're watching this video. So, without any further ado, let's get started with the problems that, even advanced level lifters, elite level lifters face. And this is coming from someone who has personally experienced some of the problems, and then I fixed it and I've gotten amazing results. So I'm speaking from experience, but also doing some research via my friends and also through the internet. Okay, first one, really common, but I'm going to explain how to solve it. You're spending too much time in the gym, right? Because like building that habit of going to the gym consistently, right? Building that enthusiasm of falling in love with the process of going to the gym, like lifting heavy weights, it's not really a problem for you, right? Now the problem is you're doing it like a little too much, right? Too much of anything isn't good, and you already know that. Okay, people might think that the number one problem of like people can't really build muscle is that they are not training hard enough, right? Which is true, right? But it is up until you are an intermediate level lifter, right? Because up until then, you're still building that habit, right? You're still picture perfecting your form, right? You're focusing on range of motion, all of that stuff. But when you are past that stage, the number one problem that you face is how do you optimize for what you want right now? That is rest and recovery, more muscle growth, right? Like a sustainable lifestyle that you're going to the gym, you're carrying out with your like a daily life, all of that stuff, right? So the problem is you're spending too much time in the gym, right? And you're not focusing on recovery because going to the gym is kind of like you don't even think about it. You go to the gym and it's kind of like a part of a daily life already. Because for most of us, going to the gym is kind of like an escape, right, from the reality that pure like 2 hours of bliss that we get. And there's nothing wrong about it, but if you spend too much time in the gym, and yeah, by the way, I'm not saying you're half-assing those 2 hours, you're training like an animal, right? That's also a problem. Like you're training like an animal, you're overtraining, right? So this point is really vast, right? So let me explain it. You're going to the gym like too many days, 6 days a week, 7 days a week, plus you're training like an animal for absolutely like 2 hours. You need to change these things, right? Because at the end of the day, of course, you wanna go to the gym up until you're 90, up until you're 80, right? You don't wanna just max out going to the gym up until you're maybe 30 years old and then you're too crippled, you have too many injuries, you don't like going to the gym, so then you quit the gym, right? You are falling sick really often. Yeah, we like you don't want these things, right? So you wanna have a sustainable lifestyle where you are going like to the gym up until you're 90 or 80, right? Like till the day you die. How do you build it? The way you build it is by going to the gym lesser days and improving the quality of your workouts rather than just increasing the quantity, like the time of your workout, right? And what do I mean by that is just do two warm-up sets, two working sets. Like literally, like you don't have to overthink it. Just take this advice and do this. Like take this as gospel, right? I'm not telling you to overthink it, figure it out for yourself. No. Just do two warm-up sets for every exercise and two working sets. That's it. And those two working sets, like go as hard as possible. Like go as hard as possible, right? Hot chocolate break. The reason you should do this is because when you have that complacent mindset in your mind that okay, I still have one more set left, maybe you're doing 3 sets or 4 sets. When you have that complacent mindset in your mind that I still have one more sets to perform, I still have two more sets to perform, you have that complacent mindset where it kind of holds you back to go all in on those first two sets, right? So the quality of sets decreases, right? Because you're trying to maintain the quality of sets in all of those sets, like three or four sets, right? That's not how working out works, right? I'm pretty sure you have watched the meme where David Late says that I'm saving fuel for the upcoming workouts, and then Chris Bum said, corrects him and said that's not how working out works, right? You need to take the sets close to failure or failure, right? That's how working out works. So just take this as gospel: two warm-up sets, two working sets. And I say this is because I have a friend, absolutely jacked guy, lean as fuck, really good, like really good looking guy, right? And uh, quite a few months from now, like I mean, before he was saying that he was getting ill, like very often. He was, like suffering from fever really often, right? And this is the guy who has never been, like never had a problem of consistently going to the gym, consistently working out, right? No one had never any problem, um, consistently putting on muscle, right? And his background is ectomorph, right? Kind of like mine, right? He was super skinny, super high fast metabolism, and yeah, so that's the kind of guy that I'm talking about. So he was saying that I'm feeling ill really often, feeling feverish, not feeling that good in the gym, and the problem with him is kind of like what I just explained. I told him that, hey man, like you're training 6 days a week, right? Spending 2 hours in the gym, doing 3 or 4 sets of every exercise, and you're training like an animal. Every single thing that I just listed is a problem, right? The solution: you spend less time in the gym, maybe go 5 days a week, maybe go for 6 days a week, spend 1 hour, 1.5 hour in the gym, maybe go 5 days a week, maybe go 4 days a week, right? And other days do cardio, right? Do two warm-up sets, and two absolutely train like animal working sets, right? And then just go fuck off to the home and just, recover, right? So yeah, like this is really the point. I hope I'm able to explain it, really good. Spend less time in the gym, put more time into recovery. I mean, at this point, your diet is really good, right? So I think the only thing that you need to focus on is, the thing that I just said regarding going to the gym, your training volume, all of that stuff, right? So yeah, that's the first point. Second point is kind of counterintuitive, but I'm going to tell you what it is. You've been following the same training program for years or maybe too many months now, right? Let me explain you the science behind it a little bit, which is there's no way where there's one single exercise for chest where you're gonna involve all of the chest fibers, right? Like, let me repeat it. There is no single exercise for a particular muscle group where you're gonna hit every single fiber of that muscle group, right? I hope I'm clear. When you're basically following a workout program and you've been following it for many years or many months, you kind of lose interest in it. You're not having that much fun with it. Plus, you already maxed out that movement, right? You don't have anything more to achieve. Maybe you were trying to achieve 45 kgs, dumbbell press. You've already achieved it, right? That's the problem. Plus, you're maybe only involving a fewer fibers with that in dumbbell press, where if you were to switch to a different exercise, you would unlock new range of motion, new exercise, you would unlock new fibers, and all of these things. So my advice is change your training program. So most of you already know there are kind of like three kind of, training programs. First is hypertrophy based training program for you if you are trying to just, like compete in bodybuilding. Muscle building is all you care about. You don't care about strength. You only care about how you look. For aesthetics, trying to build as much muscle as possible. Second is powerlifting training program, where you just care about building your strength. You only care about upping your numbers in the compound lifts. You don't give a shit about how you look in the mirror. Third is what I do is power building training program, which is it kind of like a mix between hypertrophy and also powerlifting training program. It's absolutely good and great if you're trying to get jacked as fast as possible and trying to get strong as fast as possible, because I don't think there is a point without either one of those. So yeah, follow a training program that allows you to train for strength and also for aesthetics, also to build you as much muscle as possible. And if you are someone who is struggling with it, I'm pretty sure you have been following either one of those programs, like either hypertrophy or either strength. Try to include a little bit of hypertrophy, try to include a little bit of strength training separate. So if 1 week you're focusing on hypertrophy, the next week you should follow on strength, right? And then repeat it, right? I have talked about this many times in my videos, which by the way, if you want the training program, you got to do a few things, right? I'm trying to help you here, so you might as well help me. Comment down below training program, or if you have any questions that you would like me to basically talk about it in the future videos. So yeah, you can also comment that, and also follow me on my Instagram and DM me training program. I'm going to give you that training program for free, right? Comment on training program in this video, follow me on my Instagram, and also text me training program on my Instagram. I'm gonna send the link for free, because if I start giving out links here, any guy who is not commenting will also get it, right? So yeah, make sure you comment training program on this YouTube video. Do give me a follow on my Instagram and text me training program. I'm gonna give you that training program for free. And also, if you have any questions that you might want me to take it through in the next video that I make, please make sure to do that. I'm going to make a video about it on the next video. So yeah, that's really it. Change your training program, change, like you'll have like a different kind of motivation, different kind of enjoyment that you missed. You already know how it failed, but you kind of missed because you were too consistent with this single workout program that you have been following for like too long, right? Third point is really simple, which is you're kind of confused what to do, either to bulk or to cut, because you're at a point where you kind of like how you look, but you don't want to bulk because you'll put on too much fat. You don't want to cut because it might make you a little bit small. Perfect answer for you now is what is really popular among fitness influencers. Now I'm going to suggest you that you do it, which is try main gaining for the rest of your life, which is you eat at a little bit of caloric surplus, like a little bit, 100 to 200 calories plus your maintenance calories. I'm not talking about 500, 600 plus calories, plus your maintenance calories. This way, you make sure that you have enough energy to, that would, sustain you for all of those days coming in that you would go into the gym. Also, would help you to burn calories. If you're eating protein really well, it'll help you to build muscle, also lose fat, right? Let me repeat it. That little bit of extra calories would help you to give you energy so that you could go as hard as possible in the gym. And also you're going to build muscle because you're eating good protein. Like I said, if you are training for 5 plus 6 7 years, diet is not a problem, right? So yeah, just up your calories a little bit up above your maintenance calories, 200, that's it. Plus 200, that's it. And yeah, you know good fats, decent amount of carbs, and a lot of protein. That's it. That's all you need to do, right? And that's really all of the advice that I would give you. And if you just follow this advice, like focus on recovery, focus on not spending too much time in the gym, focus on spending as much quality time in the gym, just exercise and fuck off to your home. That's it, right? 2 warm-up sets, 2 working sets, right? Change your workout program because you have been following the same workout program for too many times, right? And yeah, don't be confused about bulking or cutting. Just do main gain from here on out, right? And maybe yeah, if sometime in the future you want to do a bulking, yeah, please do it. No problem with that. With all that being said, if you want my one-on-one help, make sure to check the top link in the description. It's meeting with me, so I can figure out if you qualify for the one-on-one coaching for me. Um, yeah, peace out.